All right, welcome everybody to the clevr release webinar. I'm Darren from the clevr team. So up in front of you right now, you can see the release lesson plan that we're going to go through today and the topics that we're going to cover. All right, so first off, I'm going to talk about the advanced search with repeaters. So for those of you that have repeater sections in your templates, you'll know that the search functionality was not functioning the way we would have liked it to. It was randomly pulling areas instead of showing the results correctly from those fields. So I'll just go through and show you an example of a repeater area and how it functions in advanced search now. So I'm just going to call up my test account here just for this webinar purpose. So in the running records template, there's an area that has a repeatable section. In that area is the literacy data. So I just have a sample student here under my test account that I'm going to show you. So we can see we have different intervals right here. So we have a fall, a spring, and a winter, and these were all added with the dynamic add functionality. So before, when we tried to run an advanced search for this area, it would just call up one result and it would be a random result. So now when we go to advanced search and we're searching for those repeatable sections, what it does is it calls up in the columns, it shows the results are comma separated values. So you'll see it better when I run the advanced search here. So I'm just going to deselect all these fields because I don't want all of them to show up here, and I'm just going to select a few to show you what I'm talking about here. So I'll just select a couple here and then I'll click search. So when the advanced search screen comes up, you'll notice my sample student here, Emily Ackerman. You can see the testing date is comma separated with the results. Same with the instructional level. Now this order goes in the order that we saw on the screen. So the first record there, which I believe was a fall, had an instructional level of D. The next one below it had Q, and the next one below it had N. So that's how the results are going to show up now for those repeatable rows. So if you have templates with those repeatable rows and you want to do an advanced search to see those results, they will show properly now in a comma separated value. Okay, next on the list is the add student fix for most recent records. So previously in an add student update that we did, for those of you that were part of the add student release update, which was I believe in 7.1, I'll show you here. We used to only be able to add one student at a time. Now we can add multiple students. The issue was that if a student had a most recent record, when users were selecting the checkbox here and clicking add, it was actually adding a new record or a blank record. So there was some, I guess, communication issues over that, and people were thinking that they were losing work when actually they were just adding a blank record. So they weren't actually losing any data or anything, they're just adding a new record. So now with the fix, before you could actually just call up a most recent record by clicking on the student's name, but because everyone was using the checkbox and clicking add to add a student, now it calls up the most recent record. So you can see from the add student screen here, we saw Emily's record there, and this little icon here indicates that she has a record currently in clevr for the template of running records. So if I click the checkbox and click add, what that's going to do is it's going to call up her most recent record. So we see it in front of us now, and it's not a new record, and it's not a blank record. So that was an important fix from our end, just to make things a little smoother for everybody. The next one I'm going to talk about is the email password reset link. And sorry, I forgot to mention, if anybody has any questions at any time, just feel free to put them in the chat box there in the GoToMeeting area, and we'll get to them at the end of the session. If we can't get to them all, you can always follow up with me after at support@clevr.ca, and I'll answer any of your questions. Okay, so back to the email password reset link. So on our login screen, we have a password reset link right here. You can see it in the bottom right corner. It says forgot password. So I'm not sure if everyone has used this before. This was another release update that we had done. I believe it was in 7.0 or 7.1. But the way it was functioning was you would put in your username, it would send you an email with a temporary password that was just a randomly generated password, and it was very long, and there was issues with people copying it and pasting it into the password field in the login screen and it not accepting it, or it was putting in blank spaces, and it was just kind of more of a hassle. So myself and one of our developers come up with the idea to have it as a link in the email that was sent to the user that automatically logs them into the system, and they can change their password from there, so they don't have to, copy a temporary password or type it in or anything like that. So I'll just demonstrate that to you now with my test account. So I'm going to put in my username. My username is Darren Test. And we click reset password. So just so everybody knows, this functionality will only work if the user has a registered email in their account within clevr. If they don't have that, then this won't work. So I've just put in my username, clicked reset password, and it gave me a notification. I'm not sure if everybody saw that, but it said password has been sent to your clevr registered email account. So I'm just going to pull up my email here, and it will send me a link. Maybe it's a little delayed. Let's try that again. Could be a delayed email. I think I put it in right. Unless my email is acting up. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we have it here. It says clevr password reset. So he says, please click on the following link to log into clevr and update your password. So I'm just going to click on the clevr login link. It's going to open up clevr, and it's already going to have an old password in there or a temporary password in there. So all we have to do is put in a new password and click apply. So I'm just going to put in one and just call it test, and then click apply. And it is going to give me a message saying that it's been successfully changed. It's a quick message, and some users might not see it. We're actually in the process of making that message appear longer so that users do see it and it sticks up there a little longer. So there it is. It was really quick, and some people might think that it actually didn't go through, but it did. So I'll just go back to the login page here and just show you that it works. So I'm going to put in the new password that I created and click login. So that is the email password reset link. Next is our alert system. So this is something new for us that we've created in this release. And I'm just gonna put a pause on the screen sharing here for a second because I have to log into our admin account to show this. So just give me 2 seconds here and we'll be back up with the screen sharing once I log in. Okay, so we're back to the screen sharing now. So the alert system, currently it's only available for our team. It is something that we can make available to yourselves. Uh, so after the session, if you see something that you'd like, because I'm also going to show required fields and dashboard, which is something that we can provide to you. You can just send me an email if you would like to have that functionality added to your account. Okay, so let's call up the alert system here. So the alert system is designed to provide different alerts throughout clevr. So we have some sample ones on the screen here, and I just created a couple here. You can see that my message is, this is a test message, please ignore. So we can, as an admin, I can do it by everybody, or I can do it just by leadership services tenant, which is the tenant that I'm on. So I'm just going to change it to that here for my test messages. Leadership services team. Okay, so we can have different locations. We can have it on the dashboard that I'll talk about a little later. We can have an alert message at the login screen. We can also have an alert message on the main screen or the home screen, which is when you first log in. And we can also have an alert message on a template, which is any template. It's not just related to one template. So I'll show you a sample login one here. And I'm going to turn this on. And you can have different message types as well. So there's a notice, a warning, an error, or a success message. You'll notice when I hit submit there, it actually gave me a little green check mark stating that the submit was successful in turning on the message status here. So, and it also says please wait, and then it gives me a success message. So I'm just gonna show you how this works. So I chose a login message, and we'll just show you what it does on the login screen. It's actually a pop-up box. So I'm just gonna log out here, and oops, log back into. Sorry, I did the wrong one there. My apologies. I have to change it to be all locations so that we can see it on the login page. So I'm just going to change that. I'm going to do it very quickly here. So there we go. Submit. Okay, so if I log out, and you'll notice right in the top left corner here, we have a message. So that's the login message. I'm going to log back into our admin account again, so I just have to stop screen sharing. Okay, so that was a sample of the login page alert, and we have it for the home page or the main page as well. So I'll show you that. And there we go, there's the message there. So this is a test message, please ignore. The end user can turn it off. We can also show it within a template as well. So when I click on a template, that message will show. So I'm just going to choose template and hit submit. And then I'm just going to click on one of these sample templates here. And you'll see the message, it will load up. Wait, I must have done something, click something too fast. Sometimes I tend to go too fast for my own good. Okay, let's try this again. And we'll just click on the template here. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with that one, but it's just the same window, that little message window that comes up for templates. It was, I just tested it before this, so I know it was working. I must have missed something here. Anyways, so the alert system, like I said, you can put it on any of those locations. You can change it to be a sticky, yes or no. If it's not, you can choose the length that it stays. You can also choose it to be a scheduled message. So you could pick a date and a time to begin it and to end. So that's kind of a nice functionality as well. You can turn it off and on, make it be forever, which is actually a sticky on. And the dashboard one, I'll show you where those messages come up in the dashboard when we get there. So next is required fields. So required fields is something new for us too. And to show that, I'm just going to log into my account here, my test account. And almost forgot what I made that new password. Okay, so we'll go back to Emily again, and I set up this sample IEP. Oh, look at that! There's the message there. That's kind of funny. So in this template here, you'll notice in the top right corner there's like a little asterisk, which is indicating this is a required field. And also when I hover over it, you'll notice the little pop-up box that says this is a required field. So this is something new for us. Each field you can turn it on to be a required field. And you'll also notice up here right under the menu button, there's a completion field with a percentage. So this is based on the fields that are currently marked as required and the percentage of fields that are completed. So right now on this one, 80% of the fields are completed. So if I actually take out grade here, you'll notice that it went down to 60%. And if I take out the school year here, it has gone down to 40%. And as I put them back in, it goes back up. So that's based off of just this student and this template. So I go to the next student and they have the same thing with the completion for them as well. So the student is 60% completed for required fields. Okay, so next on the list we have the dashboard. So the dashboard is something that's also new for us, and I'll call up the dashboard here and I'll just explain it a little. So on the dashboard, we have an initiative selector. So right now in my test account, I only have 2 initiatives under it. If it was your account, it would show however many initiatives you have in this drop down. It also has a quick links to the right here. It shows us number of students, number of active students, number of inactive, number of males, and number of females. So on my home screen, that's actually drawing from my home screen. So on my home screen, you would have noticed I only had 2 students in my test account, so that's where it's calculating it from. We also have a quick search function and a messages box, which is set up from the alerts module that I showed you earlier. So we had selected dashboard for these, and they show up in this area here for the dashboard messages. And we also have the what's new column, which shows us the newest records that have been updated. So it's showing us here that I just updated that record at 221 of our webinar for Emily. Also, you'll notice a percentage completion. So this percentage gauge here calculates the percentage completed for every student that you have on the home page. So out of my 2 students, I only have 60% of the required fields filled out for those 2 students. So if I go and into Emily here, I just clicked on her name from the home screen, and I'm going to add in her age. And I'm going to add in a school year for her as well, so we get 100% completion. I'm going to go back to the home screen here and access the dashboard, and you'll notice that the completion overall has changed. So now it's 80%. So that means 80% of my required fields have been completed out of those 2 students. All right, so that's it for our webinar, release webinar today. I noticed that we had a question from Craig that Carrie has kindly answered for me, so thank you, Carrie. If anybody else has any more questions at this time, feel free to put it in the chat box there. If not, and you think of something afterwards, like I said, you can always email me, and we'll be glad to answer those questions for you. And like I said at the beginning, if you've seen the functionality here that you would like to have access to, you can just send us an email, like the alert system, or being able to flag required fields in your templates, or access to the dashboard.